Welcome to our interview series with WellNest Global and international holistic experts, Consilience, exploring new ways of thriving. You can find this series on our YouTube channel at WellNest Global. And our intention with this program is to empower our audience with tools, wisdom, and resources to assist you in your journey of thriving in this life. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Valarie Angle Roberts, your hostess here at Consilience, exploring new ways of thriving. And today we are so blessed to have a guest with us that you are just going to love. So I want to welcome Cheryl Ivaniski. Hi, Cheryl. How are you doing today?
Hi, fantastic.
I'm so glad you're here and could connect with us during this, busy holiday season. So today we're kind of wedged between just finishing up with the Thanksgiving season and getting ready to roll into the very busy multi-holiday season of December and January, and all of the festivities that come along with that. So the timing of our talk is wonderful today. So thank you for being here.
Thank you
And
for having me.
yeah, so excited. And I think the best thing to do would be to give you a little bit of a floor to tell us a little bit about you, where are you located, and tell us about Cheryl.
Sure, I'd love to. Well, I am living in Ontario in Canada. So I live in the Greater Toronto area. And one of the things I absolutely love is music. So I'm a 70s, 80s girl, but I'm also a musician. I play the piano. So I find that very, very healing in many ways. So I love outdoors. I love nature. So I'm a, 7,500 to 11,000 step a day girl. And so I like to be out in the fresh air. Now today, it's warmer. It was just -4 yesterday. So it doesn't matter if the weather's cold up here or if it's warmer. I'm still outdoors. And we were just talking about pets, and I'm a pet lover too. So grew up on an organic orchard, organic farm out in the country. So always loved animals and Mother Earth. And so that's really close to my heart. And the really great thing that I'm passionate about is living our best life and being well and how to do that. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, and that's one reason I'm super excited to have you here today with us, because that's what we're all about is, thriving in our best life, finding the resources to help us live our most fulfilled, satisfying life to the highest extent. So, um,
Absolutely. I'm with you.
it's a great place to be. So, you are a diabetes wellness strategist, among other things, such as a best-selling author, and the list of credentials of your experiences in both traditional medicine background and the holistic wellness realm is extensive. And so, would you share with us a little bit about your background, how you came to where you're at now, and your understanding of that holistic wellness realm for feeling your best?
I know, absolutely. So as I mentioned, I grew up out in the country. So hardworking grandparents, parents, family. So physical movement was always big, but we are also on our organic land. So I grew up with really great influence of food and nature's best. So that was really great. So over the years, my parents were, you're going to school, you're getting a trade. What you do after that is up to you. And so wellness and being very active and being in the 100-mile club and doing well in track and things like that, I said, I want to be in the wellness space, no question about it. And I knew what I didn't want to do. So then I thought, I'm going to embrace something that allows me to work with prevention, but in my own way. So I did go to school. I was medically trained in our traditional model of care, which offered great education. However, when you graduate and you go out in the real world, and then you want to put these things to practice, you're kind of thwarted into a system. And the system doesn't always let you do what training provides you. And the system kind of dictates to you what you can and can't do and how it is and how it isn't. And I found those lines so rigid. Although I was able to, in my 20s, create a whole different atmosphere for doctors and training doctors in a preventive arena of medicine. So I was able to utilize the skill set, but it took a lot to come around to offer tradition, to kind of heighten the awareness of there's tradition and then there's more. So yeah, so in the 80s, mid 80s, yeah, up until the early 90s, I was consulting and training doctors in their practices and being able to influence them with preventive measures and new technologies to help them along the way. However, it wasn't until my early 30s when I was helping, doctors from the neck up, and then like there's the whole body. And I had a personal health experience that changed my life forever. And that made me pause. Those things in life that make you go, huh? And I had a pause. And when I was given a diagnosis that was unacceptable for me and a prognosis that was also unacceptable for me, I decided to take a stand then and there to learn all I could in every realm. And then I went back to school and got not one, but two doctorates in alternative medicine. And so over the last 30 years, I've been extracting the best of tradition and the best of natural practices and applying them to a specialty that I'm passionate about. And so I believe the holistic approach is embracing the best of what we have in our traditional world as well as our naturopathic world, but it doesn't end there. There's the beyond point. Do you agree? I see you nodding your head.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's that marrying of the best of all things. There's no, dark line that has to separate everything. It can marry the best, right?
I totally agree. And I think there's areas that we can penetrate and dive into more that can complement and work synergistically and integratively together. And then that beyond part that I was just referring to is so often, especially in traditional medicine, we look at symptoms. We don't look at the cause of things, which leaves us still stuck. And when we look at the more naturopathic approach, we're looking at what can we do to address the root cause? How can we work backwards and how can we heal from the inside out? So when you're looking at that and then you marry those, and then you realize there's still missing pieces because it's not all about a physical body. That's actually a small part of it. I would say a great 70% is mindset. A great 70% is our belief systems, what possibilities there are, and having a growth mindset and allowing for transition and change. And even small things have a major impact. So I realized that our mind and how we think and our conscious awareness is super important. So I actually went back to school and got a master's in hypnosis and NLP to marry that with all the other studies. And then I started applying it to the specialty that I'm passionate about. So it's been a journey. So I believe that there's the mindset. I believe that there's four pillars to health. So maybe we can talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're speaking our language here, just that understanding that yes, the physical is a representation of all the other things that are going on. But the symptoms are usually related to much deeper
Yeah.
emotional, mental, energetic things. They're not just this random symptom that dropped on you from the air that you have to resolve. The symptom is not
Absolutely.
just something to resolve. It's indicative of other things happening in the
Yeah, it's a warning, it's an awareness, and let's like puzzle, some of these things together because it's just not that. There's so much more. It's like, the tip of the iceberg when you see the picture of the iceberg
yeah.
underneath the water. It's like you see the top of that, but look what's underneath.
Yes, yes. I love that illustration. It's really good representation of what's happening in the body. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So currently you work with folks. We were talking before we came on, and I was like, wow, that's so interesting. It seems like you can have a lot of fun with what you're doing now because you're able to meet people in different realms from, your in-person clients to some of the businesses that you consult with to support, and then also the very important work that you do by making yourself available virtually for your virtual program. So you want to explain a little bit to the audience about the work that you do in the different realms?
Sure. Thank you for asking because that's big. So in up close and personal, prior to COVID, it was all well, not all, but in a wellness practice, as you know, it's about people coming to you. So you have a physical space, you have treatment areas, you have great coaching areas. And so often, and still now, with clients that want that VIP attention, they want the one-on-one customized specifically for them, and they want a custom step-by-step program because often people have issues with one condition. And here we're talking about diabetes in particular. I'm all about self-empowerment through great health. And an area that I'm very passionate about is diabetes, both type 1 and type 2. And there are many other types. But when we're looking at what we can do and how we can help people, there's the in-person, like we talked about. So people will fly, myself and my team, depending on where they are, to their location or a location that they've chosen. And we may spend 3 days, we can spend 2 weeks with people. We train their healthcare professionals for them. Some people that have private healthcare professionals. We also work with corporations and companies, and we put uh, standards of care in place for them. So for some of the companies that we work with, we also do custom programs for them and even their employees. So we offer membership programs within that. So they have access to us on a monthly basis. Now, the wonderful thing over recent years has been the ability for outreach to people directly who have issues. And with diabetes being the world's largest pandemic, it's about getting people answers and solutions. And I'm so passionate about that now we've built a system. We've had really great designers and back-end tech experts work with us for a couple of years now in crafting a really great website, really great memberships that are just coming out here for the holiday season, as well as self-guided programs, as well as live coaching programs. So we're excited because no matter how people like to learn, some people like to learn on their own. Some people want to have that active coaching and the opportunity to ask questions. And I know when I was first diagnosed with diabetes and I felt like I was hitting my head against the wall all the time because there were no answers or solutions. And it's much like that today. It's unacceptable. It doesn't have to be like that. So I've created a forum and I've created a platform where people can join a community, they can make new friends, and we get to address issues and give solutions. And sometimes there's multiple solutions and people can try the ones that resonate with them. And I don't know, but Valarie, I'm sure you know that now up to 80% of the population is finding that investing in holistic healthcare practices are their best bet. 80% of the population are now using that as their primary form of care. And that is so awesome. Finally, we've been doing this for 30 years. So finally, the CDC and WHO is actually supporting and saying in their statements that that's the way to go. Prevention and proactivity.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm pumped, I'm jazzed
Yeah.
because I get to be in different realms. And I also, upcoming next year, we're doing some of our wonderful international retreats. So that's awesome.
Oh, wow. How fun. Yeah. So it's really, you're accessible to somebody no matter what point
Yes.
of view, whatever availability or desire that they have, whether it's personalized and in person and VIP 101 or in a group setting with
True.
collaboration. Yeah.
And often I'll be honest with you, unless someone's referred to me through someone they know that's either more local or through organizations out there where I've been speaking or they've bought one of the books. Uh, Typically people will first meet obviously in a engagement conversation like we're having, Valarie, and then they'll say, "Oh, I'm curious. I want to check out the website," and then they can see from there that there's endless possibilities of how they could come and learn and join communities. So it's
Beautiful. Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And that's, that's why we do this is because I believe that there's solutions out there for every single person that's looking, and getting to know someone like you, Cheryl, and getting to get a sense of your heart and your passion for what you do, helps them connect and say, this is safe. This is safe for me to reach out and go check out this website and to see what's
Yeah.
there for me because I need this. And,
Yes.
a lot of times the biggest thing that I found is we just don't know what's out there. We just don't
Yes.
understand the scope of what's available.
Well, and that's a really big thing. And that's wonderful that you provide a platform for that because when I was diagnosed with diabetes, which was very sudden and unexpected, I actually fell into a coma when I
Wow.
was diagnosed. And at that point, when I was given my diagnosis and prognosis, and I was told that I could expect this and this and that complication, and no support, no solutions, just medications and the next appointment, book it. And I talked to so many people that come to our webinars and our master classes and our mini series and our coaching programs, and they say, Cheryl, I feel like I'm hitting a wall over and over because I go to these appointments and all they say is, let's check and see how you're doing. Well, what are you doing between appointments? Like, well, numbers are not in the target zone. There's a lot of damage, a lot of internal inflammation screaming like wildfire, through the body, and that's not okay. So I know exactly what it feels like to feel like I'm just a person in the waiting room that's been called in for 10 or 15 minutes and then dismissed after I got my blood work results. Well, I can look at my own blood work results from my lab. I'm here for a step-by-step plan, but there's no blueprint out there. That's why I went back to school. And then there's no blueprint there. You got to try it all individually on yourself and with the
Yeah.
test group of clients and then work your way through it. It takes a lifetime.
Yeah, and that's where your mentorship is so valuable. It's not the moments you spend with people, it's the lifetime that's brought you to this moment. It's the that you can speak to them from a place of knowing and understanding and compassion, and
Yes,
having walked in those shoes and knowing exactly what that feels like, to connect with people. I just think that's really powerful when you, like, as a practitioner, can come meet somebody there from experience. Super powerful, knowing of what that's like. And so for folks who are, obviously lots of folks will just watch this today and they'll see, diabetes, I have that, or whatever. So do the majority of folks that come to you, have they had a diagnosis already? Are there folks that come to you that have kind of an inkling that something's off and I know it's probably related, it's to go in this direction? Where are people usually at when they find you?
you know what? That's a great question. So, because we found in our challenges and in our webinars, we had people all across the board. So, we have people that are caregivers for their spouses or for their parents, but yet there's a generational link in their family. So, they're trying to support their family, but they're concerned about themselves. And as you may or may not know, Valarie, half the population that has diabetes or prediabetes has no clue because half the people are undiagnosed, which are millions and millions of people, like 250 million people. So that's a lot of people. So people come to us from different time points. So to answer your question, we found that because there are so many people that weren't sure, we actually just crafted and we just have launched this Black Friday, Cyber Monday right now. We've just launched our course called Diabetes Decoded. And Diabetes Decoded, boy, I wish I had something like that when I was first diagnosed. So it walks you through over 22, 23 lessons, like step by step. What is this? Not from medical jargon perspective, but like, what does this really mean for a day in your life? How does it show up? How does it make you feel? What can you do about it? So we have people who are either scared and at risk and not sure what to do, and those who are caring for loved ones who may or may not be a new diagnosis. And when I say that, like I said, some people don't get diagnosed until they've had this for 5 or 6 or 7 years because their symptoms have ended up in neuropathy or something else. So we do have the Diabetes Decoded, which is a self-paced or coaching program and a membership. So every week there's something in there. However, the clients that I worked with in private practice mostly when I first started, which was probably the first 10, 12 years, were people who had diabetes between 5 and 15, 20 years. So that was really a sweet spot. However, now because so many younger people are getting type 2 diabetes. It's on the rise. And I just had a paramedic join us, a retired paramedic who's 72, who was just diagnosed with type 1. So you have across the board such an array, but because of the need that we saw, we have our introductory essentials programs for those who are newly diagnosed or at risk and want to just avoid it altogether. So we have that program for them and a membership. And then we also have for those who have had diabetes for 5+ years, and we have some people in their 90s who've had it for over 50 years with us. And that is a full diabetes success system program that we have with them that includes those 4 pillars I was talking about. And we help them with what's missing, Valarie? And what's missing for me? Are you familiar with IKEA?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but when I go to IKEA and I get something, there's instructions, right? You get the
Right.
instructions of how to put this together. Now, I'll be there for a month and still not know how to put it together. I don't know about you, but I'm not good at putting things together. If someone shows me, or if there's a video or someone shows me and they walk me through it, and I get to try it, I get a little bit of feedback, and then I get to try it again, then
Yeah.
I know I'm on the right path, right?
Right.
Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck. So for me, and just how I learned, it's really about what's the how to? Okay, this is the what, this is the why, but
Yeah.
what's the how? And so often that's missing. And I'm all about practical, making things practical and making them work for you. So the implementation trainings are something that we offer and everything we do, because if you don't know how to do the how to, it kind of sits out there. It's not in here for you. And our world class trainings are all with our how to implementations, and I don't see anyone doing that. So I think that really attests to our success, because whether you're 80 and you're not quite sure exactly what to do and you don't want to bother family but you want to learn, it's a
Mm.
great place to learn. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people feel like they're imposing on other people. So the how to implementations are really great, and we do those. That's just part of what a winning diabetes success system is.
Mm.
So without it, you can get success, but why fly at a low altitude when you can soar in life? Like, just do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what I think, right?
It's a wonderful time to be able to access this and have this opportunity, because like you said, it's not always been accessible or available. And yeah, I can't, the number of times people just be like, tell me what to do, just tell me what to do and how to do it. That's what they want is, my doctor gave me this diagnosis, or I figured out that I have this, but I have no idea what to do.
Okay,
And
so now
don't
what?
Google it.
Right. So like,
you know,
now what?
know
And
what?
yeah, now what? And it's about having a safe, proven system, because
Yeah.
diabetes is very sensitive. And it's the leading cause of so many unwelcome consequences that are completely all unnecessary, no matter what type of diabetes you have. So I stand for people living the diabetes-free lifestyle, no matter what type of diabetes you have, because if you're living that way, you're going to call yourself, you're going to call that action into your life. And so it's about, for me, it's about reaching the masses. And it's also about, to be honest with you, Valarie, it's about giving people the, in addition to the how to, the diabetes free formula. So, they can go into their kitchens, they can go out and manage stress, they can go out and do movements that are going to increase their insulin efficiency, rather than thinking whatever they've just done made that impact. There's specific things people can do. So just use the specific things and get the 10 times factor. It's
Yeah.
taken 4 generations of my family with diabetes, and it's taking my lifetime to like put this together. So, don't go down rabbit holes. Don't waste 10 or 15 years of your life, because guess what? Diabetes at work, whether you are or not. So it's a 24/7 relentless, a beast of its own. But just imagine being able to be in front of your numbers, and imagine being able to enrich the quality of your life so you bypass any complications, and then add 10 years to your life, because diabetes steals 5 to 15 years off of a person's life on average.
Hmm.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I mean, it's always at play, as long as you're not attending to it and making the right choices, which many people don't know what those are unless they have
Right.
yours. They're
Right.
not maybe not trying to make the wrong choices, but they just don't know. Then
Yeah.
it's really, working against you in many, many ways, from your organs to your,
Yeah.
metabolic well-being and your brain health. All of that is
Well,
impacted.
speaking of which, and I'm glad you mentioned that, is that brain health is very important because the new type 3 diabetes is dementia diabetes.
Mm, mm,
So there's many things to talk about there, but I am just so jazzed and I'm so happy that you invited me here because for women, for men, for caregivers, if you're helping your parents and grandparents like I did for many years with diabetes, and I said, geez, I am not, I don't stand for welcoming or inviting or influencing these complications. But if I don't know what I don't know, that's what's happening.
yeah.
So I said, it stops here. Our family is not going to be affected by this, and it doesn't have to be. Didn't know what that was at the time, but like I said, 30 years and maybe I'm going to say maybe close to 200 years of combined familial experience.
Mhm.
It's real. And what I love is that I know exactly what everyone feels like because I live with it every day. So
Yeah.
it's not like I get a break either, but it's like to live my life and to be out there to help people, I need to be in the zone, in the healthy target zone with my numbers 95 to 100% of the time. And that's my goal for people with diabetes.
Well, we are so blessed to have you, and that just it's so beautiful that life has brought you on this journey of growth and all these experiences that led you from one thing to the other, so that you're able to contribute so hugely to, like you said, so many people that have this diagnosis or don't know that they have this diagnosis, that have these symptoms and so on. So that's just thank you, Dr. Cheryl. I'm just thrilled to
Thank
talk to you
you.
today, that we can introduce people to you and they can now, listen to this and have hope and reach out to you. Really touched by your story, that this is what your life has brought you to do to help so many people.
Well, thank you, Valerie. And I really appreciate the opportunity because spreading the word and being aware, it all starts there. Heightening our awareness, having conscious awareness, that's what opens the door to new possibilities. And like you said, for someone who might not be aware, this is that opportunity that make you go, imagine not having to feel tired all the time, or imagine how else life can be. So thank you for the platform, Valerie.
You're quite welcome. And will you remind us just one more time how we could get started? So if somebody's tuning in here and this is their first time hearing about you or this type of opportunity to find solutions, we'll have all of this, folks. If you're taking a walk right now listening, don't worry. We'll have this in the description so you can come to the video and find all of these resources. But what are you offering right now where they can get started? Just remind them of that.
Okay, beautiful. So please come to Holistic Diabetes Solutions. It's right here on the screen if for those of you who are watching. So it's Holistic with an H, Diabetes Solutions. We have a wonderful website. We have free resources there. And right now we have a wonderful essentials program called Diabetes Decoded. And you get to decode your own diabetes for real. It sets you up with everything that you need in, I think it's about 22 lessons, and we're offering that as a wonderful holiday and special for people. So that we're going to have a QR code up here for you as well. So that'll be great. So Diabetes Decoded, and that's again a wonderful, wonderful program, and it's a membership as well. We're just launching that over the holidays. So there's a few months free. It's interactive. It's great. It's that's what you got to check out. And for people who have a really, good background in diabetes, we also have our diabetes friendly kitchen series, which is really amazing. And that's coming up too. And it's all about how to set yourself up for success in your kitchen and how to put those healthy diabetes friendly swaps in without ever apologizing and without ever having to give up anything because there's another way you can do it that's friendly for your blood sugars. So that's really exciting. And I think I'll leave it at that because when you come to Holistic Diabetes Solutions, you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for.
Wonderful. All right. Well, we'll leave it with that. Thank you so much, Dr. Cheryl, for being here today. And folks, make sure you, scan your QR code here or go down in the description and find your link so that you can get connected and learn more. And, follow Dr. Cheryl on social media and stay connected because now you have those resources that you need. That you've probably been longing for a long time. So, everyone, have a wonderful day. Dr. Cheryl, thank you again.
Thank you.
And we will see you back here next week, everyone. Bye bye.